Now I'm checking my feed as I do every morning, and I see this article from the Daily Mail. And I generally do not know why it pisses me off so much, because I only saw the thumbnail and the title. I didn't see the actual thing yet, and already my blood was boiling. And I needed to have a little bit of introspection. I needed to try and understand, like, why is this soliciting such an emotional reaction out of me? And then I realized that we live in a society where it's actually not okay to teach women anything. Now, it's perfectly okay to teach men a lot of things, like how not to be toxic, how to stop being racist, how to stop making jokes, how to not be an incel. Like, there's a plethora of things that's not only okay to teach men, but sometimes even required by the government. However, when it comes to women, like, absolutely nothing that would even remotely suggest that they have some responsibility is completely unacceptable. And so here we are, whenever, like, there are some consequences that women go through, we can't actually say that maybe it's their fault, maybe their decisions, and maybe this is a problem that can be fixed in the future with better education. No, that is never acceptable to say. Instead, what is acceptable to say is that something needs to protect women. So, like, the government is now the father of all women everywhere, and it's the responsibility of the government to make society safe for women by basically banning or regulating any dumb shit that they may do. And so here's an example, right? This article is about OnlyFans, obviously. And basically, OnlyFans is viewed as the one thing that's predatory. That's, like this evil entity that compels women. And it tricks them. It tricks them into making bad decisions. It's not women that, like, without anyone forcing them, when they reach the age of 18, start an OnlyFans account. No, it's like this evil corporation. And if we could get rid of OnlyFans, then women would stop being tricked and they would just have normal, healthy lives. They would be able to get married, have children, grow old, and prosper. But here's why this is full of shit, and this is why it actually enrages me. Because I actually remember the internet before OnlyFans. Like, there is actually a history before that website was made. And we can see how women acted before that. We can actually see if they genuinely were going to get married and have children and normal, healthy lives. The answer is no. Do you know what women did before OnlyFans? I remember growing up, you had several websites. You had High Five, you had early Facebook, and you also had a website that was in Romanian, pitsipoanca.ro. Now, a lot of those women were teenagers, okay? Like, they were between the ages of 14 to 17, because the internet was brand new and only young people mostly would use it. And so you had a lot of lewd photos uploaded by these women for free while asking no money in return. And so this was an epidemic in my country. Like, I remember how you would have 15-year-olds or 16-year-old schoolgirls going into their grandma's bathroom, like you'd literally see the toilet behind them, as they would take a selfie with a duck face and usually wearing nothing besides their underwear. Okay, like, that was the early age of the internet. And again, like, they weren't doing this for money. Like, the reason they were doing this was for popularity. They wanted the likes. They wanted the comments. They wanted people to say, oh my God, you girl, you're so beautiful. And probably they wanted to attract a Chad. But again, like, the internet was an epidemic of this shit. On early social media websites, wherever you would go, you would find thousands of these pictures. And so don't give me the shit that OnlyFans is tricking them. No, I don't think OnlyFans is tricking them at all. I think, like, this is how women behave. And those women were, again, like, in the household of their parents, and they were going into the bathroom where the parent couldn't see, and they were uploading those types of pictures, probably knowing that they shouldn't upload those types of pictures. And so if you were to, like, at the time, basically, like, try to create a movement and start a little bit of education and try to lecture them that maybe, a couple of years down the line, those pictures are still going to be on the internet and they're going to hound them. Oh, well, you are called a misogynist, a sexist pig, you want to control women, you want to create the handsman tale, right? Like, you weren't allowed to try and help them out. You weren't allowed to try and, change the culture. Now, the reason they're not doing that anymore is because, well, now you have OnlyFans and they can make money while doing it. But, like, I don't see why, if OnlyFans would stop existing, that they wouldn't keep doing this shit for free. Right? And they would still have the exact same photos that later on would damage their reputation. Because let me explain something else that I definitely found the most disgusting thing ever. The subject of revenge pornography. Right? So, you have a woman that sends naked pictures of herself to her boyfriend, and then the boyfriend gets into a spat and uploads those pictures on the internet, and now he goes to prison. Like, okay, fine, I understand why it's socially unacceptable to send her naked photos to the internet. But here's the question. Why is she uploading naked photos of herself to begin with? Is this not something that's worth discussing? Like, my grandmother never uploaded naked pictures of herself to other people. My mother never uploaded naked pictures of herself. Why is she uploading naked pictures of herself online? I don't care if it's to her boyfriend. The boyfriend can very well move his ass to her apartment and see her naked. Why does she have to upload naked pictures of herself on her phone? Why isn't there a taboo on doing that? Again, like, I understand that he is violating the trust by showing the naked photos of her online. Like, that's fine, you know, and okay, there is a punishment for that. That's also fine. But why is she uploading naked pictures of herself to her phone? It's not just about the fact that, you know, like, revenge porn is a thing. But, like, phones get hacked. You know, the cloud oftentimes can get hacked. There's government agencies that now check people's phones. There's also the possibility that her boyfriend can simply sell his phone for secondhand, you know, and someone can recover those datas. Now he's in legal trouble. Like, all of this nasty shit, you know, in order to protect dumb things that women do. And it's not that I'm suggesting that there should be a law to prevent women from doing these dumb things, but simply by mentioning that it's dumb, simply by, like, trying to create a taboo for young girls to upload naked pictures of themselves on their phone, no, that gets a lot of pushback. And we like to pretend that we live in a free society, right? And it's like everyone can do whatever it wants. But, like, can they, though? Like, can people do whatever they want? If I start dropping slurs right now, can I do that? No, of course not. I get hit with a community violation, right? And so, no, we don't live in a society where people can literally do whatever they want. There are still rules. There's still regulations. And almost all of them disenfranchise men and favor women. And even when you notice that women are doing something bad, you're not allowed to tell them, hey, you know what, stop. Like, if you have a young guy that goes around and has, like, the most racist videos and racist rants and shit like that, telling him, like, hey, you know, like, this may actually affect your job application in the future, that's acceptable. In fact, like, people are required to tell him that. But if you have a woman that uploads naked tits of herself and you tell her, hey, you know, like, this may affect your job applications in the future, she can respond by calling you an incel, calling you misogynistic, saying that you're harassing her, right? Like, this is how it works. And so this is why I find this article disgusting, because yet again, it doesn't want to put the blame on the people making bad decisions. Like, how women are being tricked into selling sex online. They're not being tricked. Okay, like, they notice where the website is, they create an account, they are over the age of 18. In some cases, to create these types of accounts, you need even to show ID. There is no trickery involved. If you think that this is trickery, then surely women should not be able to vote anymore. Like, if they're over the age of 18 and make bad decisions like this and they're not accountable, well, that's fair, you know? Let's put them under a guardianship, just like you put people that suffer from mental illnesses and they're not smart enough to make decisions, and you put their father in charge, and there you fucking go. You solve this issue, right? Financially trapped with no way out. So imagine if this article actually had the title saying how men are being tricked into getting super chats by making racist rants, and then they're financially trapped with no ways out. And you have the thumbnail of a man looking down and experiencing remorse. How ridiculous and cringe would that be, right? So, like, why shouldn't this also be ridiculous and cringe? I think it's very ridiculous and cringe. And no, absolutely, I do not believe that society should do anything about it. I think people should parent their daughters a little bit better. And also understand that, yes, well, you know, just like a man can become a thug, and he can go out and hurt someone, or He can go out and get in a fight over a girl or steal someone else's money or whatever the fuck, thugs do, right? Like every single parent does end up with the risk that your guy can become a thug. Well, every single parent also ends up with the risk that your woman is going to upload naked pictures of herself online if you do not use parent controls, and if you do not raise her well, so by the time she is 18, she doesn't do that. And of course, like having children also comes up with the random element. Like you can be the best parent in the world, and if the kid is self-destructive, then he is self-destructive. In which case, insert another coin. Have another kid. It's kind of like playing a gacha. Eventually, maybe you get the SSR child. Until then, you end up with the dubs. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.